Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be looking at what economists mean by total, average and marginal revenue. So I'll first describe these three concepts and then I'll go through an example. Let's start with total revenue. Total revenue is just all of the revenue that the producer gets from producing and selling their goods in a market. To get that, we take the price that the producer sells each good for and we multiply it by the quantity that the producer trades. Usually this is written in shorthand. TR, so that's total revenue, is equal to P times Q, where P is equal to price and Q is equal to quantity. Average revenue is just going to be the, average revenue per unit sold. So it's just going to be our total revenue divided by Q. And actually in this case, because total revenue is equal to P times Q, the Q's just cancel out and we can see that our average revenue is just equal to the price. Now, just as an aside, if the firm does any sort of price discrimination where they're charging different prices for different units of the same good, our total revenue and our average revenue calculations might be a little bit different from what I said here. So I'm not going to address these cases here, but I am flagging it here just in case. Now, marginal revenue is just the change in total revenue that is brought about as a result of producing one more additional or marginal unit. So we have on the numerator our change in total revenue and we divide that by the change in quantity. In some cases, the problem or model that you will be working with is represented in terms of equations. So maybe you have a demand equation or a total revenue equation. In these cases, our variables quantity and price are being interpreted as continuous, and you will need to do some calculus to find marginal revenue. Because in this case, when our variables are continuous, marginal revenue is interpreted as the derivative of our total revenue function with respect to Q. So I have a specific video on that, and I'll link to it above and in the description. And you can go to that video if you want to find out more about those particular cases. So let's go through these concepts via an example. And let's say in our example, the firm can trade 1, 2, 4, or 8 units of some good. So that's our quantity variable there. And let's just say, so just in this case, if our firm wants to trade more, so if they want to sell more, they have to lower their price to get more customers. Otherwise, no one will buy the additional stuff that they sell. So in my example here, if the firm prices at $10, they can sell 1 unit. But if they want to sell 2 units, they're going to have to drop the price per unit to $9. If they want to sell 4 units, they have to drop the price to $8. And if they want to sell 8 units, they have to drop the price to $7. So you can think of an example where the price doesn't change like this. This is actually what happens when a firm is a price taker. But I wanted to give you a slightly more complicated example to demonstrate how all of the equations work. And it's a little bit more tricky when the price is moving around like this. So I thought I'd choose the harder one for you guys. We can start with our total revenue column. And remember, our total revenue is price times quantity. So here in the first line, I can do 10 times 1 is 10. Then we have 9 times 2 is 18. For our third line, we're selling 4 units at $8, so 8 times 4 is 32. And in our last line here, we have 7 times 8, which is 56. So that's our total revenue. Average revenue is just going to be our total revenue divided by our quantity. For our first line, we get, 10, that's our total revenue, divided by 1, which is 10. For our second line, we get 18 divided by 2, which is equal to 9. And we get 32 divided by 4 is 8. That's our third line. And 56 divided by 8 is equal to 7. That's our fourth line. So you can see that in each one of these cases, the average revenue is equal to the price. Now for our marginal revenue, recall that we're looking for the change in the total revenue divided by our change in quantity. So we're going to have to find both our change in total revenue and our change in quantity, and then we can substitute those values in. So let's think about going from producing 1 to 2 units. Well, our change of quantity here is, the difference between 2 and 1, which is equal to 1. And our change in revenue is going to be, well, 18 minus 10 is 8. So our marginal revenue is 8 divided by 1 is 8. As we're going from 2 to 4 units, our change in quantity is, well, 4 minus 2 is 2. Our change in total revenue is 32 minus 18 is 14. So our marginal revenue is our change in total revenue, which is 14, divided by our change in quantity, which is 2, is equal to 7. As we're going from 4 to 8 units, the change in quantity is 4, that's 8 minus 4, and our change in total revenue is, well, 56 minus 32 is 24. So our marginal revenue is 24 divided by 4, which is equal to 6. And that's it. That's the real basics of total, average, and marginal revenue. There's still a heap more to say on the topic, and next week I'm going to put a video out on graphing all of these functions once we do consider them as continuous variables. But I hope this was a good introduction for you guys. If you did like the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much to all of my subscribers. Keep well, everyone. Have a lovely day or night.